Again, my name is Shayna Scott, recruiter at Community Integrated Services. So I'd love to share with you more about what we do, the open positions that we have, and to answer any questions you may have. So Community Integrated Services, we are a nonprofit organization. We've been around for almost 31 years, and our mission is to empower people with disabilities through individualized employment opportunities that foster self-sustainability, equality, and community. We partner with public agencies, businesses, schools, universities, and other community organizations to help create a more inclusive, diverse, and equitable workforce. We believe that all people, regardless of the challenges they face, can contribute to their communities in meaningful ways, and employment is the optimal means to achieve lives of independence, productivity, and self-sufficiency. So we do have some great positions available right now. So I'd love to give you some more information about all of those positions and what they require. So right now, we currently have an assessment trainer's position, an employment trainer's position, a business development specialist position, employment coach position, and a job coach position. So as I talk to you more about the processes of Community Integrated Services, I will give you some more information on each job description and where that would fall in the process of supporting others. So first, we do assess and discover, or we help the people that we serve assess and discover the kinds of job opportunities they're interested in doing. So we kind of figure out what jobs are they most comfortable working in, what kinds of environments are safest for them to be in, and most importantly, what environments that they would feel comfortable working in every day. So we take them to different assessment sites throughout the city, and then we kind of get a feel of how they react to those environments through some evidence-based practice. So we will evaluate how they're feeling in those environments. Is this okay for them? Is it safe for them to be in? And this would fall under the line of an assessment trainer. So an assessment trainer is that individual that will accompany the person that you're serving to an assessment site. And we're kind of honing in, making sure that the sites that we choose are the sites that that person is interested in working in, as well as most comfortable in. This position is community-based, meaning you'll be out in the community traveling to different assessment sites, as well as providing job coaching support to the person that you're supporting. So if you're interested in working full-time, possibly closer to 40 hours per week, on a Monday through Friday scheduling, during business hours, usually between the hours of 8 and 5, this position will be great for you. If you're interested in being a part of the early stages of someone's journey in figuring out what they'd like to do as a career goal, then this position would be great for you. Moving along, after that person has completed their assessments, we then will bring them to the job development stage. So the job development stage is where that person will get a chance to do some interview prep. So we'll help them create resumes, we'll help them submit applications, we'll help them with their communication skills. We'll also accompany them to their job interviews. So during this phase that the person is in, this is when they're actively seeking work. So a business development specialist position will fall in line under job development. So the business development specialist will be assisting this person while they're actively seeking work. And you're also connecting the dots between other businesses that are coming into the area that are actively looking for employees. And you would go out and you would give them the pros on why they should hire the person that you're supporting. This is a community-based position. You would need to be available Monday through Friday during business hours between the hours of 8 and 5 p.m. to make sure that you're supporting participants who are actively looking for work. They can go to their job interviews and you can assist them with motivational purposes as needed. So this position, you'd be working closer to 40 hours per week. So if you're looking for a fuller schedule, this will be the job for you. If you have any marketing skills and experience in marketing, great communication skills, this will be the job for you. Moving along to once that person gets hired at a job, fingers crossed they get a job. And once they do, we continue to offer support to them through job coaching services. So we have 3 different positions available right now that will fall under that coaching umbrella. So that would be an employment trainer, an employment coach, and a job coach. So all of these positions, relatively, you will be doing the same job, you would be going to that person's work site and supporting them while they're actively clocked in. And throughout the day, you are their motivational support. So you're like their hype man, as I like to call it. So you're hyping them up throughout the day, keeping them energized and engaged with their work duties as needed. You are also that advocate for that person if they are a bit shy, or you're also there to, build up their confidence, help them remain focused while at work and complete tasks as necessary. So if you're interested in a more busier schedule and you're looking for full-time, closer to 40 hours, an employment trainer's position may be great for you. So this is someone who enjoys working in the communities, of course, someone who has great communication skills, someone who can manage a caseload as well. When you're managing a caseload, you would make sure that you're keeping everyone updated with the progress of the person you're serving. So that could be any supports at home, that could be mom or dad, that could be residential counselors or residential support that they have at home, and also their employer. So you're keeping everybody up to date with that person's progress. As an employment coach, again, you would be out in the community at the work site supporting the person that you're serving. The only difference is it's a little less hours per week. If you're interested in working full-time, but you don't want to commit to a full 40 hours a week, an employment coach position may be the best fit for you. An employment coach would work a minimum of 30 hours per week, so it still allows a lot of flexibility if you have any obligations at home as far as school, childcare needs, etc. And again, we also offer the job coach position. So a job coach would work less than 30 hours per week. This position allows the most flexibility if you have another full-time job or you are looking for additional work. This will work as this will work great as a part-time job or even a second job. And the main focus in the job coach role is to make sure that you have great time management skills, enjoy working in the community, can effectively get back and forth to the different sites via your personal vehicle or public transportation if you are a Philadelphia resident. So all positions require you to work in the community. We offer flexible scheduling, and we also offer some great benefits packages for all full-time employees. So I'd love to give you the pay rate for each position that we discussed so far. So the business development specialist position pays $20 per hour plus benefits. The assessment trainer's position pays $20 per hour plus benefits. The employment trainer's position pays $20 per hour plus benefits. The employment coach position pays $17 per hour plus benefits, and a job coach position pays $17 per hour, and you can opt in or out for 401k as a part-time employee. So a couple of qualifications needed for the roles. You definitely want to be comfortable working and supporting people with disabilities. You want to be an engaging person, great with communication skills, great with data entry, and proficient using Microsoft Office Suite. Definitely want to be a road warrior, as we like to call it, definitely comfortable getting out to the community each day and understanding that no day will be the same. A lot of our needs are based on the people that we serve and their employment needs. So our schedules depend on what their needs are, all very flexible in itself. I'd love to answer any questions we may have. I just wanted to touch base on the vehicle or the transportation side of it. So we support people all throughout Philadelphia and also PA. So that would be Media or Delco or sometimes Montco. And then we also provide services to people in Delaware. So that would be Middletown or Milford. So if you live in any of those areas, Philadelphia, Media, PA, even Lansdowne, PA, for an example, or you live in Delaware, Milford, or Middletown, we have tons of opportunities available in each of those offices. In order to apply, you will head over to our website. I believe Joseph's going to help me out here and get the word out about our website, but I will also leave it in the chat. So in order to apply for any of these positions, you will head over to our website, click the Join Us tab, click Careers, and then search for any of the positions that I've discussed today, and then apply. When you're applying, we ask that you complete your application. That way we are notified that your application is in the system, and then we will immediately reach out to you to start a pre-screen. Once you complete that pre-screen, we would then schedule a formal interview for you. So I also have two coworkers here in the meeting, a manager of business development and a business development specialist. If anyone had any questions regarding that specific role, I'm sure they can give you a ton more information than I can. So I'd love to open this up for any questions, Joseph, and we'll see where we go.
Awesome. Thank you. And I just real quick, I'm going to show everyone what the job site looks like.
Thank you so much.
It's right here, so you can sort by location and choose if you only want to look at positions in Philadelphia, or the qualifications, et cetera, et cetera. So that is a link that should be in the chat right now. And I'll also send that out in a follow-up email. So let's see. If anyone has any questions, feel free to go ahead and unmute themselves. We can start with a couple that are in the chat. Do you need a car for these positions? You addressed that.
I can expand on that a bit more.
Yeah, go for it. Thanks.
Thank you so much. So yes, a couple of these positions, you are required to have access to an insured vehicle. Those positions are the ones that are closer to 40 hours per week. So we would need more of your time. So you definitely need to have a car for the role of an assessment trainer, business development specialist, and an employment trainer. As an employment coach or a job coach, if you are a resident of Philadelphia, you will not need a vehicle. You can use SEPTA, which is what we use for public transportation in this area, to get back and forth to the coaching sites.
Great, thank you. And what was the title of the first position that was mentioned? Assessment
trainer's position, which I am trying to fill that position. So I'd love to hear some questions about that.
All right, does anyone have any questions about that one? I do see one person interested in the business specialist. Do we have Demir or Robin? Does one of you want to talk about the business specialist position a little bit?
I can talk about it a little bit. So the business development specialist is a really, well, I guess as you look at the camera here, but the business development specialist is more like a career coach type of position. We get participants that come through our department who are trying to find jobs, and some of these individuals can already be employed at another site. And we're trying to either find them a second job or a new primary job. Some people are completely new from our intake process that occurs. And we're trying to create them a whole new job. We have a number of options available when it comes to job development, whether it's creating a customized position or trying to get a participant a job at a already formed position. A big part of our job as job developers and business development specialists is, as Shana mentioned, connecting with businesses in the Philadelphia region. If you look on our career site, it does say Delaware. You are, if you're applying for Philadelphia, you're not expected to go to Delaware. So don't worry about that. Delaware County, possibly. Delaware State, no. But business development specialists, we cover a very large region. For instance, on my caseload, I have people in Philadelphia. I also have people in Delco. I don't have any Monco, but that encompasses a lot of different areas around the Philadelphia area. We do we write resumes for individuals, update those, and we have our own internal systems and processes to ensure that everything's on the up and up to make it as smooth as possible for our participants and employers. It's very important to us that we have solid matches for these jobs. So it's easier on our job supports team and trying to maintain that connection with the job and also maintain that employment for that individual. So we do a whole process, which is oftentimes very fun. I love it.
Awesome, thanks. Could you talk a little bit about the training for that position, the business development specialist?
So I can give, so everyone here is trained as a coach because all of these positions require some level of coaching. So during your very early stages of employment here, you would receive training regarding coaching. Once training is done, coaching wise, we would, make sure that you have some shadow shifts in the community. So you will get to see and observe another coach and a person that you're supporting in the community. And that's the best way to gauge how you're going to be when you're actively on your first solo shift. So after those first 3 days of training, when you're trained as a coach, you're completing all of your, state mandated trainings. Then the business development or assessment positions, they have job specific training that is scheduled through their manager, but I'm sure either Robin or Damir can go into detail about what job specific training is needed for business development specialists once they get through original orientation.
All of our departments within CIS are super supportive. We have a very inclusive and supportive community here, and everybody genuinely wants to see you excel at your respective position and even in life. So the training that each department provides it can be intense, but it's to ensure that you're well prepared for whatever obstacles you face along the way. So for instance, for different from job support. So I originally started off as a job coach, which is the part-time position that we offer. And then I became a business development specialist. As a job coach, the training was significantly different. We're all, required to do case notes the same day of service. So that is super important. Like Shana said, being great at Microsoft Word and computers is super important because we have reporting requirements when it comes to auditing and things like that. We are supporting individuals with disabilities, so that's super important. But when it comes to the other departments outside of job support, for our department, for instance, business development, we had to be trained on how to navigate negotiations when it comes to salary or maybe position. A lot of our participants don't want to do cash register. However, that's not to say when we're talking about disabilities, a lot of people assume they can't do much, which isn't the case whatsoever. We have individuals who have master's degrees. We have individuals who graduate from college. We have individuals who have a high school diploma, but are very high functioning. So everything with CIS is a spectrum, and it just exposes you to a whole new world that you otherwise may have not known about or, even considered. But it's something to definitely fall in love with because no day is like the day prior to. So while we have training, it can't be compared to the on-the-job training, and the supportive community that CIS has is super great because that on-the-job training can be you messaging our hotline, which is a group of managers who do the scheduling and anything that happens in terms of incidents with participants throughout the day. It can be you contacting your manager, you contacting your coworker how to navigate situations. So there's a lot of training, and training doesn't just stop at the first 3 weeks. It is ongoing. We're all growing, we're all learning, and they don't look at it as well, you should know this already. It's more, we want to see you do well, so we're going to empower you to do so by offering you that support.
Great, thanks, Damir.
Awesome, thanks. We are getting some questions about the assessment trainer position. So what are the duties of the assessment trainer?
Yes. So an assessment trainer is someone that the participant that we're supporting, they meet very early on during the early stages. So we consider this the intake process. So as an assessment trainer, you would manage a caseload of people who are actively, interested in finding work. They may not be sure of what kinds of jobs they're interested in doing. They may not be sure of which kind of environments are best for them to work in. And an assessment trainer would assist them with finding that out. So this is the discovery phase for the person that you're supporting. An assessment trainer would accompany the person to different assessment sites. I love to give examples of sites. So I always use Target, Walmart, or ShopRite just for an example. And we would take that person to these 3 different sites and get a feel of how they're responding to the environment. Is this environment productive for them to be in? Do we feel like this person can grow in this environment? Is this a safe environment for this person to be in? And mainly, of course, is this environment a place where this person wants to work? Our support is very individualized, as Damir said, so we do not follow the same procedures for each person. It's very, very specific to what goals they are looking to achieve. So assessment trainer kind of breaks down what jobs we know to go and look for once that person gets to the job development stage, or once that person gets to Damir or Robin, we kind of already know what jobs to look out for because they've done an assessment and gone over that.
Okay, hello. I'm sorry, my question may have not been as clear as I wanted it to be. I actually wanted to know what are the qualifications that you are looking for in a job candidate. So I understand, you were very thorough in describing, what the position entails for assessment trainer and job development and all the rest of the positions. But I want to know, what qualifications are you looking for the potential employee to have? What are we bringing to the table? What do you need from us?
Okay, great. So thank you so much for your question. So what kind of employee does CIS want?
Mhm.
So we are definitely looking for somebody who is engaging, someone who has a great communication skills, great time management skills. I like to always ask these three questions while I'm interviewing. Are you a people person? Do you enjoy supporting others? Do you enjoy working in the community? And do you enjoy helping others achieve their goals? If you answered yes to all of those questions, joining the team would be a breeze for you, because these are the things that we look for. Like Damir said, we are a very supportive group, very team oriented here at Community Integrated Services. So you want to bring all of your leadership skills and motivational skills from your previous employment and education to the team. So we're looking for people who are dedicated to providing support to others. Definitely okay with a changing schedule. As Damir mentioned, no day is the same here. So this, any of these positions will be great for someone who doesn't want the same routine every day, who wants something new. Again, road warriors, definitely want you to be interested and comfortable driving, because a lot of your, the part of your job will be in the community, driving to the different sites. And of course, personality is key. As I said before, you're that person's hype man. So you want to go to the site, you want to be energized for them. You want to make sure that they, have the best attitude as well. So if you have the best attitude when you arrive, that person is more likely to, have a great attitude and have a productive day. So those are things that we look for outside of the traditional qualifications for employment. But as far as the kind of employee we're looking for.
Okay, great. So not necessarily anyone with a, bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorate, and all that kind of stuff to start out in these fields, but as long as they have the personality, maybe even a high school diploma or GED, they can, gain access to these positions. Would that be accurate?
Yes. So all of our degrees are preferred. High school diploma is required. All other degrees all other degrees are preferred. So we love to see many different kinds of backgrounds and experiences. So you don't have to have a degree specifically. It depends on which team you end up on. Some may require degrees depending on the people that they're supporting. For an example, business development specialist, if they have a need for it, they may need you to have a bachelor's degree in psychology, for an example, if that's what their needs are at the time. But for the most part, everything is associates or bachelor's preferred. And we love to see people who have experience in educational background. So teachers, assistant teachers, substitute teachers, any kind of aide in the school district, any customer service roles, which is always great for us. If you worked in retail, you worked in food and beverage, that experience is needed, and that experience helps us as well when you're supporting someone who's trying to get into one of those roles. So definitely psychology for one, social work for one, definitely. So if you have any of that education already or experience in another company, of course, providing direct support to anyone else. You could have worked at another company that provides similar services as we do. So if you have any of that experience, would do you well here at Community Integrated Services.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks. We have one question. Do you support people with disabilities with educational goals? So if someone wanted to obtain a degree before finding a career, is that something you support?
We do have something called the transition team. Transition team is when we support teenagers, usually between ages 17 and 21. So they're coming out of high school, and they're looking for either internships or, first time work. So we do assist them with that transition from school. And, we do partner with Drexel and other universities to assist any students with that transition from school to work. Robin, if you had any background information on that regarding college level, please feel free to chime in. But I think,
Well, the programs we work with, like Shana said, is more transitioning. Some of our folks are under what we call Project Search, like that's kind of under Drexel. So we're kind of working with high school students while they're literally in high school, and then they kind of carry over to the Drexel program.
yes, so definitely, thank you, Robin. So definitely assisting them with the transition from high school into the workforce. And we do only provide supported employment to these individuals. So this is all employment first. We do only handle, employment-based needs. However, we could always help them connect the dots to different resources who can assist them in other areas like schooling or home.
Cool. Thank you. We have another question about how you define disabilities. Are these physical disabilities or mental disabilities?
Great question. Thank you, Nicole. So we support people who have a mental, cognitive, or physical disability that could be on the autism spectrum as well. So any one of those our participants will fall under. You could support someone with a mental disability, a cognitive disability, or physical disability. You could support someone who had all three or more than one.
All right.
Did that answer? I want to make sure that that answered the question first before we move on. Yeah. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good, Joseph.
There
All
was
right, cool.
one question. There was one question about applying to multiple positions.
Yes. Oh, wait. Okay. So I thought Joseph was keeping the line up for me. Do I just hop right in here or did we skip any? I don't want to skip any questions.
Now go for it. We'll make sure we get them all.
Okay, yeah, so you can always apply to any positions that you're interested in. And then, of course, during the interview process, we'll really hone in, kind of like the process that we do already. And we'll hone in on what you're really looking for, the availability that you have, and what, what your existing experience will match better with. You can always apply to more than one. And then during the interview, we'll break down which one seems to be the best fit for you, the one you're more interested in, and we can definitely do that.
So I saw a question again about the assessment site. And I think Shana did an excellent job explaining it. And I guess I'll just help in some assistance as I did assessments way back when. You're basically going in the field and working with a person based on their job interests. So for example, Shana had talked about Target, Walmart. You're literally going to Target and you're going to work with a participant in stocking. You're going to see how they literally stock. So you may say you got to look in aisle 4 for apparel. You got to look in aisle 9 for paper towels. You kind of assessing the person. How do they work in the field? Target is big, so how do they respond to a big crowd of people? Are they a little afraid? Are they a little nervous? What are their job skills? Do they work in a fast pace? Are they able to find the items? You go to a ShopRite, you're bagging groceries. How do they literally do that task skill? So the assessor is the person that's in the field actually working with our folks that initially come. You also have to have some writing skills because after you do your 3 assessments with your participant, you literally have to write up what you did. How did they respond? Were they on time? Did they dress appropriate? So it's a 2-field part of assessment. You go into the assessments, you're actually writing up the assessment. Hope that helps.
Thank you, Robin.
All right, we'll do one more question. I don't want to keep everyone too
Can
long.
I can I chime in? This is all sounds so familiar to me because I used to work at an art day center and where the participants would come and create art and get paid for it. So this is something that I'm actually is really weird, and I would take them out into the community where I would be able to pretty much be like a community integrationist, except for it would be more so opening up their eyes to more extensive art than maybe what they were already doing at the art center. And then I would still have to come back to the center and complete my notes as a to what their affect was. How did they respond out there in the community? Did they like what we went to go see? Things like that of all types of nature. So when you say like it could just like Walmart and things like that and Target, I just wanted to chime in to say that it could be all type of interest that they could be interested in, not just like in retail per se.
Yes, exactly. So we definitely don't want to only give them positions that other people think that they may be good for. We want to find positions that they would like to do most importantly. So it's not only just retail. If they want to work at the Philadelphia airport as a plane fueler, we're going to try to connect the dots to make that happen. If they want to be a secretary, we're going to connect the dots to different offices that are hiring secretaries, and we'll actually put in the time to help that person get prepped and ready to interview for the kinds of roles that they're interested in. We don't just give them retail jobs or food and beverage jobs. If they want to work in a restaurant, great. If they want to work in a convenience store, great. But we want to broaden the horizons and show them that there are tons of opportunities that they would be able to, go up for and get.
Yep.
Yes. Joseph, I did want to answer this question about the new hire process.
Yeah, absolutely. That was going to be the last one I asked.
We're on the same page. So thank you, Felicia, for your question. So the new hire onboarding process. So we have it broken up into two. So we have a pre-orientation process that involves getting all the necessary clearances that you would need. You are responsible for getting a criminal background check, a child abuse clearance, and FBI fingerprinting through DHS. So we will send the links out for you to get that if we offer you employment. That is a part of our pre-orientation process. Once you get hired and you start, you will then go through an onboarding process. So you would go through HR onboarding. So you would learn more about the company. You would get your introduction into community integrated services, and you would learn many things, how to read the schedule, how to submit case notes, how to find the participants' case files. And we also, again, offer shadow shifts. So that is the best time to observe and ask as many questions as you'd like while you're actively out in the field or in the community, watching someone receive support. So that takes about the first week of your time here at CIS. And then, as Damir mentioned, you will have ongoing trainings. There are state mandated trainings that you will be required to complete within your first month. So a lot of those trainings are virtual, which is great. So you can complete them, independently. And that will continue to happen as far as your employment here. We'll continue to roll out trainings that, we feel everybody should be updated on. So I hope that answered your question, Felicia.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then my last question would be, do you hire individuals with criminal backgrounds?
That is dependent on a case-by-case basis, depends on how long ago, what it was. Of course, you cannot have any thing against children in there. You are required to pass all of those clearances, but it doesn't mean it's complete no, it really just depends. So I would say to continue applying, and when we get to that stage, we can address it when we get there.
All right. Well, thank you so much to all of our presenters today. I hope everyone got something out of this session. I'm going to stick around for a couple minutes or so. So if anyone feels like they didn't get their questions answered or they have more questions, feel free to stick around and you can ask me and I will make sure to pass them along to the presenters and we'll get an answer to you in the email. But other than that, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to our presenters and I hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you. Wonderful job,
Thank you.
Shana. Thank you. All you guys did great.
Thank you so much. I'll also stick around if anybody has any more questions about community integrated services. Love to be as helpful as possible.